Hello?
Hello?
Are we
Hello?
Who knows?
Oh
Are
no.
we doing things?
We're
Still holding the thumb.
I know, right?
I'm just like still holding the thumbs.
Just
Yeah,
kinda,
everyone's
we're just sitting here like, yeah, what's happening? What's going on? Yeah, oh, okay.
All right, welcome everyone to the D&D stream over here on GutPunchRP. I'm looking at the wrong thing. We are playing. What are we playing tonight? Lost in the Wild, a Feywildy bullshit campaign where they're totally not going to get murdered by bunnies tonight. Absolutely normal stuff. GutPunchRP is, of course, a charity TTRPG streaming channel. If I could find the right window, I could tell you more about it, but golly, do I suck at computers right now, especially. There we go. Anyway, our charity for this quarter is, of course, the Transgender Law Center, which changes laws, policy, and attitudes so that all people can live safely, authentically, and free from discrimination, regardless of their gender identity or expression. And you can type !charity into the chat to find out more about that. We have to update our little thing on the Twitch, but we're going to be giving away prizes with that. Lovely prizes. Like this very shiny box full of minis. Full set. You can have a burly and a giant cat with wings of your very own for a donation of as little as $1. We also will do like little prize packages, and one of them is a super cute little die from Amherst Dice /Justin /NoFamePod. Our hero. Anyway, we are sponsored by Dungeons Gate, of course, a Midwestern gaming store with a diverse selection of board games, card games, TTRPGs, dice, minis, and accessories, as well as sci-fi and fantasy books and graphic novels for all ages. And you can type !Dungeons Gate into the chat to find out more about them and to go shop online and save 10% on not already on sale items by typing in the code GutPunchRP. Announcements done. With that, I obviously am Kai. I am your GM this evening. We'll have everyone just go around and say who they are and who their character is tonight. Starting with, I'm going in Discord order. It's Grayson up first.
Hey, it's me, Captain Grayson. Tonight I will be playing your lovely rogue, Elio. Questionable. But yeah, that's what I'll be doing tonight.
All right, D.
Hello, my name is D, and tonight I will be playing Veritas, the Clockwork Soul Sorcerer Fighter multiclass.
All right, Jess.
Oh shit, that's me. Hi. I'm Jess or Jessica. You can call me. Find me as Dr. Psych Owl. Except for on Twitter where I'm Dr. Psych Owl TV. I don't know which bit am I doing. Hi, I'm playing Daz, the bard who has it way more together than this player does. Or do they?
All right, Nat.
Hello, I'm Natalie, Shield Maiden or Shield Maiden cosplay across all platforms with shield with 2 eyes. I'm playing Cobalt, the Tiefling Wizard.
And that is last but not least, Princess Lady Bro.
I'm Sarah, Princess Lady Bro across the stuff and the things, and tonight I am playing Oravarin, the excitable Tiefling War Cleric.
All right, and with that, let us jump into our recap. So, last time, after subjecting our newly formed party to a brutal but entertaining fight, Mr. Witch and Mr. Light send the party to the land of Prismere with one more task, getting their contract from the castle, and an ominous warning about some local wildlife. After passing through the portal, the party finds themselves on a broken bridge that sits even with a dense canopy of forest around them. They are able to see signs of a town and towns in a few different directions, but head to a small village. And when they arrive, they find that it is literally a small village. All the buildings are about half height to what you would build for a 6-foot tall person. Very adorable little cookie cutter gingerbread house town. But at first glance, it appears abandoned. Movement catches their eye in a high window, and they are soon confronted by a Hare who leads them to the apparent leader of this tiny town, a jaunty gray rabbit with a white blaze down his face, wearing a sharp but drab outfit that is capped off with a beautiful bright blue scarf that is as long as he is tall, if not maybe a little longer, and it is just flapping behind him, slowly and majestically in a non-existent breeze. As he comes out to greet you, wearing also on his head, just kind of like the around one of the ears sort of thing, a little crown, and he sort of tips his head and introduces himself as Abdon Longscarf. And that's where we'll pick up. He has just bowed to you, and he's kind of looking you up and down.
Did the scarf come with the name? Is the scarf a title? Do you wear the scarf because of the name? I just have questions.
Or did you earn the name because of the scarf?
It's a moniker that I've picked up in my time. My very magical scarf. What
Magic?
Does it billow?
What's it do?
It does this.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Did the scarf predate the title, or like that's I want like can we get a timeline?
You just what do you all want? Who are you
Yes,
people?
I believe we're getting a bit unfocused.
Oh, yeah, a little bit. Sorry.
He's like adjusting his scarf so it like rides a little higher and flaps up a little bit more.
If you couldn't tell, which I'm sure you can, we are new to this area, and we are looking for somewhere to rest before we journey.
Yes, and this all felt a bit formal, taking it to council.
I mean, it's not a council, it's just me. I mean, but I didn't
That
catch any.
one was going on about a whole meeting with the council and like something about like a trial or something like that.
I mean, I can start a trial. Do you guys?
I don't think it's necessary.
I don't think so.
Well, then, can we get some names? Just a round of.
What do you need the names for?
You're coming here. You're coming to me.
What is your intention behind asking our names?
What is my intent? You are coming into my home, and you don't want to give me your names.
Yes. If you don't mind, word about is that names are power. So.
Well, you're not wrong, but I don't have that power. That's more of a big faith thing.
Can I roll an insight check on that?
You can definitely go ahead and roll an insight check.
Wait, names are hold power here. So don't. Okay.
15.
He is being pretty earnest. That does sound like a pretty powerful thing to be able to use a name against someone. He's just a little guy. But I also gave you my name, so if it's really that common a problem, I think I would have been more careful. And then he kind of turns to a rabbit behind him and goes, but write that down.
Hi, I'm Ori.
Bows to you.
Oh, we're bowing. Okay.
With the biggest flourish, Daz does that and like bows in an unnecessarily like plunging deep, like touching the ground and then coming back up and that's Stargazer.
A showy one. I mean, we Haragon do love a good show. And he's kind of like eyeing you up and down, and he's kind of like grabbing like the little tuft of hair on his chin, like he's deciding whether or not you have value to like let in.
If you
I'm
like
Cobalt.
shows, sorry.
No, go ahead.
If you
go ahead.
if you like shows, and if it would assuage the situation, I'd be happy to put one on. In fact, you
Those
know,
shows are amazing.
in fact,
Quite a
I
good
believe
performer,
it's
yeah.
part of the feature of a bard that I can find a show or find a place to perform anywhere.
Get the
Yeah, it
old
is.
room and board.
And get room and board.
Hell yeah.
He kind of nods and goes, "It's not a bad deal, but I'll take the rest of your names and then maybe the trial, and then we'll probably let you in."
I'll extend my hand for a handshake. Like, hi, I'm Cobalt.
It's like a little raccoon-style hand.
That's unsettling, but okay. Shake his hand. That's it. Yeah, uh-huh.
But adorable and cartoony. Does that help?
I'll take it.
Okay. And then he kind of just looks up at Veritas.
You can call me Tick.
Good enough. All right. We can just stand it off, or you can. You're just not gonna say anything. It's like
How about we just call me El?
also good enough. And he kind of turns around and turns back to this rabbit who's been like scribbling stuff down this whole time behind them. They're wearing like a weird little bonnet that kind of like pushes their ears down, and like it almost looks like a potato sack, but it's clearly made by adorable little rabbit hands. And they kind of like lean their heads together and are just like whispering quickly back and forth. And Agdon turns back and goes, "All right, y'all can come in." And, you know, the door is built proportionally to this building. So it's a duck for most of you, and you're coming into a long hall. It's one of 4 buildings in town, and you haven't really seen anyone else, so you're kind of just like, what is happening here? Are we about to be murdered straight up by these rabbits? So you all duck through this door and you come into what is the long hall, and it has one of those roofs that's designed for the heat to kind of rise in. So most of you are able to stand up with the height of the roof being about 8 feet at its tallest. And in here is like one chair. Just one like throne like little rabbit chair. And he starts walking toward it.
This is where you work? And I'll just sort of like look to the mostly empty room.
Well, this is, if we need to do things up here, this is where we hold community meetings and
Council.
we'll counsel. Sure. Anyway, and he just like walks kind of back around behind the chair and to the back wall of this long hall, and then just kind of like starts walking sideways and absolutely does the labyrinth disappear. And just for about like 3 seconds, y'all just kind of stand there. He peeks back out.
Wait, what?
Oh, are we following?
Following?
I mean, you could just stay up here, but
Oh, okay.
Wonderful.
It just wasn't clear. Sorry.
Well, yes. I'm just, our hospitality is a little, you know, it's rare that we get
You're doing wonderful, darling.
Thank you, El. Anyway, follow me. And you turn down this hallway, and the hall kind of goes from the size of the tallest part of the room and almost like an optical illusion, just kind of shrinks down. So again, at the end, it's about like a 4-foot opening that you end up having to, some of you, very much duck through. And then as you've been coming down this hall, your footsteps have sort of been like covering the sounds. But you begin to hear the sounds of like other living creatures. And as you come through this small opening, it opens into a much larger room, and you gather that they have a giant underground war in here. So the houses up above, you can kind of see stuff that lines up with them. That's where there's smoke rising. There does appear to be a tavern. There are little like other offshoots that say there's even more stuff happening on the sides. And you see lots and lots of rabbits. They all look very like hale. Like there's a lot of kids running around, but in like more sort of allegorical to people numbers than rabbit numbers. But yeah, it's just, there's a lot of rabbits down here, and he is leading you, weaving slowly through this, and everyone is just stopping and looking up at you guys and like clearing the way.
As we walk, I'll lean to L and I'll say, Is it all going to be like this, do you reckon?
What do you mean?
I mean, I learned common from human fairy tales, and this seems reminiscent in a lot of ways.
Of a fairy tale?
Ones that I've read before.
Isn't that great, Veritas?
I don't know yet, and I'm not exactly pleased about that.
Well, I'm sure we'll find out.
I'll just keep walking.
Now this Agdon has kind of led you across the chamber towards what you gather to be the tavern. And he sort of like jumps up. There's a little platform sort of closer to that building, but kind of in the middle. And he just sort of like stamps his foot a few times, very large feet that really echo on this piece of wood that they have here, and it's built for this. And he just announces, people of the Warren, be kind to our guests. It's rare we have any, and we want to get tourism back up. And he hops off and like leads you into the tavern. And there's like a smattering of applause behind you, and like a couple of kids clearly cheer. Oh, well, come on.
So cute. Just go in.
Yeah, going inside. Yeah.
Welcome to the White Rabbit Fair guests. Please, a table. It's, it has a normal amount of like towny bar traffic. But you see he's kind of like snapping, and the rabbit that had the clipboard and was doing all the writing had run ahead, and they had clearly like made it so that they were clearing a table and a spot for you that was very much in the middle. Be like, ooh, look at this. Yes. But before you sort of like, the Bunny, who is clearly the barmaid, sort of walks up to you and curtsies, and she has like an adorable little sort of woven skirt in like cornflower blue and a like petticoat that comes up, and says, welcome to the White Rabbit, right this way please, and leads you to the table. Her ears are sort of like pulled back in a ponytail. We'll get you a menu? They clearly do not normally have menus, and there's like someone behind the bar just like writing something, just like saying when. He just like holds up a chalkboard. it has a few different kinds of drinks on it, and stew. It's pretty much what it is.
I will take whatever you most recommend and are comfortable with cooking, and the darkest ale that you have.
Excellent, excellent.
I'll just take a juice of some sort, if you have any.
Hopefully a carrot juice is okay.
I've never had carrot juice before. This is going to be fun.
Well, all right, I'll put that on the reviews. I'll do a round for the table.
Yeah,
Sounds wonderful.
So she kind of like turns and hustles away, and just kind of clearly like her and the barkeep have known each other for a long time, and sort of start like instantly like arguing, but then are like doing everything very, very quickly. And in just a few minutes, start bringing out a round of like a dark ale that you gather is made from like something like rooty almost, and then carrot juice for everybody. They do it family style and bring you like a tureen of a soup. It's very like vegetarian, also probably very like root vegetable and carroty based, and then just like a nice bread with it, very grainy. Let me know if there's anything else I can get you.
this is great.
This is wonderful.
That's wonderful.
Excellent, excellent. And she just like turns and goes away and is back behind the bar, and it's like people are definitely like, oh my god. Not only are there customers, it's new customers, and they're also tall. It's great times for them at this bar.
Veritas will dig around in his bag and produce this small little handbook that's almost kind of too small for his hands in a lot of ways. So he'll use his smaller set of hands to like write down with a quill as he continues to drink and make just like he almost chitters like the insect that he looks like, and he's just like contemplating, just mulling over the taste of this ale. The other carnies would know that he does this anytime he tries a new dark ale. Like he writes down all the flavor notes and stuff.
I was gonna ask what he's writing, because Cobalt would, as soon as she saw like Veritas pull out like a notebook or something and start writing, like she immediately would just be like, what you working on? Like looking over his shoulder.
It's
sorry.
just no, it's fine. It's a review of the various ales I've had across our journeys.
Which one's
Busy
been
work.
your favorite?
That is a hard question to answer. There were several that we had that were a little too hoppy for my taste, but the carbonation was really good, and when you get the sweeter ones, it's easier to tell the fermentation taste that comes off of it, and I'm not a huge fan of that. A lot of people also like to put honey in the heavier things like mead, which is why I stick to the ale, and Veritas just goes and goes and goes.
Just
You
sitting
sound
here.
you sound just like my brother Saffron going on like that.
Yes, it's a friend of mine got me into the idea.
Did you used to travel with them? It's really good. If you haven't tried it, you gotta try it. It's real good.
It looks good.
I think you would look over and see like Elio is also like viciously eating and like finish the carrot juice.
Well, remember what the dormouse said. Feed your head and then dive in.
Cobalt's also eating very quickly and is pulling it's I think that like Cobalt eats very quickly, and then as soon as she is done, she pushes her bowl away and starts pulling things out of her bag, like a spell book, the items that we found, like all like little bits of chalk, all sorts of like all. She just ends up like sprawling over like an entire end of the table as she starts identifying the loot.
All right. And they have seen that you are like happily attacking this food, and Agdon kind of like nods, and mostly to Daz says, well, I'll set up your show and you can do that later, and then you all can have a nice rest while we find long enough beds. I'll be back. And he just kind of like goes off with his note-taking friend like right behind him, scribbling something down as he began identifying things.
I mean, they don't need to find us beds. We could just sleep on the ground.
Yeah, it's not that big of a trouble.
I mean, if they're gonna like,
Well, obviously the performer must sleep in a bed because you have to rest up. You do all these big shows and such. But I mean, I just need a little pillow and a blanket, and I'm good. Remy also requires a nice, pristine bed.
Like beds only. They're already gone. They're already gonna find you something like a bed. Probably be like a Snow White situation.
Veritas especially.
Yeah.
Extra one at the end for Veritas. All right. As you're taking this stuff out, any of the cardies who are paying attention? Maybe? Sure.
Certainly.
They would recognize that vial right off the bat as being pixie dust, something that's very commonly given away, normally in like smaller packets at the carnival. And you would just recognize this to be like one that entertainers, like some of the entertainers tend to have on them a little bit more. It has 3 uses of pixie dust in this small corked vial.
What are you doing over there?
Huh? Oh,
What are you doing?
well, figuring out exactly what all of this is.
You could do that.
Yeah. I mean, it's taken some practice and a little bit of tinkering to figure it out exactly, but can identify what sort of magic is going on in all of these. Yeah. This one, it's supposed to make you fly a little bit. Well, kind of for a short amount of time, but
What?
the whole thing of the pixie dust vial. Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's got enough for like 3 uses, looks like, from what I can tell. And then there's this. There's a potion. It should make it easier to do, like, I mean, make it a little bit easier to do like one thing before it wears off, but potion of advantage lets you reroll one thing and then it's done. This one, pulls out she has like the ones that she has already identified, like started to like set them aside and like got like focusing on like the pipe that is like in the middle of like her. She's like keeping one hand on the pipe while like continuing to do this identify while starting to kind of like half explain the other things. She's like doing like 14 things at once. This one, I mean, it's not much use to me. This one, it help you resist some kind of fire damage. I don't burn that easy, but if one of y'all want to try it, it might also let you breathe fire for a little bit, maybe.
That is the rose.
The red chromatic rose.
Oh.
Yeah, the red rose. Yeah. She is like, yeah. So if one of you wants that, and then this one is kind of like that, but with ice. And that's the white rose. She is like giving half explanations. So if you want more clarification, you will have to ask her for it. But
And don't try
Huh?
to read your notebook. You just can't do it. Continue. I'm just warning them. That's all.
I mean, you're not wrong. It's
That's enough.
this one lets you make cool smoke monster shapes.
Wait, what? Smoke monster?
What?
I will
What?
I will take the pipe and I'll just like to like show it off to the others. But it's like a kind of like bone carved pipe with, it looks like the bell of it looks kind of like a dragon's mouth. It's got like a little lid. It's like the top of the jaw, and it looks real cool. But I mean, if like when you're like blowing smoke rings, but like way more intense, way cooler. Only like making images out of the smoke, but it's still pretty cool. I don't have much use for this one, but if any of y'all want it.
You are extremely well learned about magic. Where did you study?
I kind of self-taught. I couldn't really get into any schools on account of people not believing that I can read. Which I'll just kind of pass over my spell book, which is all like, she was clearly reading it, but she'll pass it over to all y'all, and you'll see that what Ori said about not being able, about just being nonsense is true. To all y'all, it does look like it's just scribbles.
I mean,
Interesting.
I can read it perfectly clear as day, but nobody else can, and I don't. And well, I know why. It started after I snuck into the carnival when I was a kid, but
that will do it.
on these experiences you've all had with the carnival.
But since I couldn't exactly write or even fill out an admission form for a wizarding school, I kind of had to teach myself all of this. So,
Well, seems like you've done well for yourself.
thanks.
To say the least. Well done. And have you all known each other since you were children?
No,
no.
only for a few months. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Kichiro and Cobalt ran into me in a field. I was picking flowers. I got lost.
You
A
got
running theme.
lost picking flowers.
No, I was supposed to be delivering a package, but I got lost delivering the package, and then I found the field of flowers, and then I started picking flowers, and then Kichiro and Cobalt showed up, and they looked little worse for wear, so I took them.
We had a rough fight, and it didn't go so well.
And then we made it back to the keep. Took a little bit long. They found it. I just kind of followed.
Yes, because you
I'm-
would quite literally lose your head if it wasn't screwed on straight. Yeah,
Now, I'm pretty good about finding things. It's just location.
not places though.
No, I'm very bad with directions. Also, happened when I was a kid and visited the carnival.
Yeah.
This is why we pay for carnival tickets, yes.
Well, I know that now.
Yeah.
Sure.
I learned that one the hard way.
Sometimes you don't have to pay, you just need to join the crew.
It is cheaper.
True. I mean, technically, we didn't pay this time, but we did have
That's
tickets.
true. Yeah, we did have tickets
Thank
though.
you.
Yeah, so I suppose the
Ellen,
important
for
part
that.
is having tickets.
Yeah.
I suppose
You-
if getting lost is picking flowers, then it's not that bad.
No, it's actually quite lovely. I wound up in the most wonderful places sometimes.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. Sometimes not so good. There was this one time I wandered out in night because I got in a fight with my head abbot, and it just ended poorly. And I somehow wound up in a cave. I don't live near a cave. There weren't any caves nearby, but I was in one. I don't know how I got there. I didn't make it home for 3 days. It's fine. I
doesn't-
turned out all right.
I'll worry about you.
That
Okay.
that didn't sound like a fun experience.
It was just a little dark. That's all.
Just a little trauma. That's fine.
I mean, truly, it just seems like you're prone to adventure.
It's
That's one way to put it.
true. It's the best way to put it. And what about you three? Have you always worked at the carnival?
No.
What'd you do
No.
before?
No.
All three of you then. What'd you do before? If you don't mind sharing.
Well, for a long time in my home, I was what I've come to find out is called a gladiator here. Yes, I have always been a fan of combat. I believe it is a language that more people speak than they think. And one day, I met this odd, fleshy man, a human, and he carried with him this, and I'll pull up the lantern.
Oh yeah, you used that in the battle, right?
Yes. It allowed him to perform strange magic, and I had always been curious of here, so I decided to follow him when he left. He was just sort of a drifter. And when I awoke one morning, the lantern was there, and he was not. So, I carry the lantern now.
Certainly came in handy.
Yeah, what all does it do exactly?
That is a long story. It ties me to a plane called Mechanus. And
Not that one.
it does a lot. And that was years ago, and I've been with the carnival since.
That's an incredible story. I'm sorry you lost your friend, though.
Yes, he's somewhere.
Well,
I'm
all
not
those
sure
things
that
can
he's
be
dead.
found again.
That is true.
So we'll have to keep our eye out for him, yeah?
Yes. Eyes out.
Is he someone that you do want to find?
I would be lying to say I had a deep emotional connection to him. He was a strange man that I could not beat, so I followed him in hopes that I would learn the secret to beating him. And then he was gone.
Maybe you did beat him. That's why he left.
And Veritas just goes quiet, having never considered that possibility.
And kind of around that time, and I don't remember if I named the rabbit that tried to steal stuff from y'all last time. But I have a name that I wrote down, so we're just gonna go with it.
Great.
So coming through the door, this rabbit who you immediately recognize as kind of the one who tried to steal from you and then instantly was going to fight all of you. He goes, no hard feelings about before. Just comes up to like whoever is at the end of the table and sort of like hits him in the shoulder because you all are on rather low chairs. They're bringing you pretty close to rabbit height. Oh, and look, you're all doing fine. You got food. You got more food. And then
You did a lot to help us out with that one. Thank you so much.
Well,
it was a really great welcome that you offered us when we first arrived here.
I
really
put you
do
on
appreciate
the
it.
right path. Look at this. You're doing better than before. Do you all need anything?
Yes, you should actually make it up to us. Why don't you buy us another drink?
I like that, yeah.
Well,
that's a good idea.
of course. He's like kind of just motions to the barmaid, who is absolutely just like kind of. You're the only people in the restaurant right now, and they're just like staring at you. And she just kind of jumps and grabs like another like pitcher of that ale and brings that out. And a few minutes later, of course, follows with more carrot juice.
Have anything else other than carrot juice?
Water? We have a fizzy drink that's like a
Can I try that?
Yeah, it does. It's like 2.5%. I'll get some. They're making kombucha, like weird underground kombucha.
Nice.
Wonderful.
So they will bring you some of that as well. Is everything to your? Would you like dessert?
There's dessert. First off, this stew was amazing, but there's dessert.
Not
Sure,
yet.
it's carrot cake.
Oh, I love carrot cake.
Well, it's more of a carrot cheesecake. It's vegan though,
Well,
so
even
it's
better.
Even better. Yes, please. I'll take it.
so they just bring out a whole one and like plates and a little server and all of that. Because most people like you see people walking past the windows a little bit like too frequently for the population, but you gather that like most people are kind of like, oh, the guests are so
Watching us.
scary and tall.
So this whole cake is mine. Where's yours?
Take a bite off of Ori's plate.
And so now you have sitting at the table with you this rabbit who just kind of like puts his feet up on the bench. So you have your dessert, you have your beverages. What brings you to Prismere?
Trying to help some friends out.
All right. I mean, what kind of friends are you looking for?
Well, I lost something, and Cobalt lost something, so we're trying to find those, and Kichiro lost something. I think you all lost something, so we're trying to find those, and then one of our friends went missing here, and then another friend is trying to contact somebody who is here. Actually, two friends are trying to contact people here. We're trying to find Nope, that's also a lost thing.
A lot of missing things. Lot of missing things here. That's not an uncommon theme for people that wander into Prismere.
Do you lose things?
No, I live here. I was trying to make you lose more things. I know how to keep my things on me.
Yeah, you were actively trying to cause us to lose things. Yeah.
When he says that, can like Elio like pat himself down to make sure that everything is still on him?
You still have everything, and he kind of like clocks you checking. He goes, "Oh, now you're guests. I'm not gonna steal from you now that you're guests."
Well, you could have stolen from us before we were guests, though.
I'm just keeping eagle eyes on him.
It's a little hostile in here. I was just trying to come in.
You tried to steal from us, so pardon us if we're a little bit suspicious. Thank you.
That's fair. That's fair. But now we're all here. We're together. The cake. Friends. You lost a few friends. You found me. I'm your new friend.
Are you?
Your name?
My name, and he sort of like puffs himself up a little bit, is Trundle.
Trundle. That's a good name.
Thank you. And everyone out there already knows all your names. Everyone's so excited. And in this moment, he sort of like cracks and is like clearly a little bit excited that like the tall people came to their hometown. So, returning to the question, what y'all looking for lost things? Are you going to the giant tree? I think the castle probably has some of your lost things.
It was a plan. We just needed a place to rest first.
Yeah. Well,
What do you know about this castle?
oh, the castle. It's big. It's a long ways off. We go past the swamp. Maybe I don't know the most. I might not be the most knowledgeable. I tend to stick around here because,
But you know that it probably has our lost things.
well, everyone knows
So-
that.
Yeah.
But she takes that's
Is
how.
there?
Who takes
Works.
what?
Yeah.
I'll say roll a persuasion check.
I'd love to.
Now he's
I would
like, wait, now
love
they're asking
to.
me questions.
That'll be a 15.
All right. It is. And the last question was, what does he know about the castle?
And-
Who?
And the
Oh,
lady.
Mhm.
okay. So he's gonna kind of just sort of eye you up and down as he's still in this very like relaxed, roguish rabbit pose, and he goes, "Y'all don't know what's going on here?
There's something going on.
Well, you know that Prismia's fallen under a little bit of a new rule."
No,
Tell us more.
that would make sense for the other two.
Well, we had a queen, Sabrina. Great, powerful, kept everything in balance.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But about a year ago, things started changing. A little bit at first. Edelyn Moongrave, a dark hag, who kind of is the other side of the balance, started making moves, started bringing people in and taking more and more, and she eventually made it to the castle, hence the dark, ominous cloud. That seemed... It's normally like a
yeah.
beautiful place, and even the swamp looks sunny and nice, and now it's just Jabberwocks flying around and evil people.
Heard about that.
Yeah, mhm.
The Jabberwock. Know anything about that?
Yeah, well, I know what it is. You guys didn't get a tourism book or anything? No?
Wait, they have those. I would love one if you've got one. Okay.
I think you mostly call them fairy tales, probably.
Yeah, Leo looks at Veritas.
But the Jabberwock's a dragon, but it's our dragon, so it's...
Different.
Yes, and he patrols the swamp, kind of. Hangs out, lives in some ruins that are sort of on the edge, which, probably avoid those also, unless you want to fight the Jabberwock. Probably get eaten by a Jabberwock. He's kind of like eyeing all of you. He looks at Veritas. Maybe not you, though. I think you could make it.
Appreciate the vote of confidence.
Well, stay away from the ruins, and I have a little bit more confidence that you might make it to the castle. Oh, but yeah, so then it's Edelyn Moongrave in the castle being evil, and making this place generally inhospitable.
Right. No, that certainly answers two of our queries.
That lines up with a lot of things, actually. Yeah.
Well, do you have other dots that need connecting? I do. We spend most of our time underground. It's not super exciting. So we like to gossip and figure things out. And
Do you know where they collect lost things? Like, do they keep lost items and lost people in the same spot? Because that would make our job so much easier.
It really would.
And he's sort of like this like confident pose he has sort of deflates a little bit, and his like ears kind of like twist outward. Well, I don't know the specifics. Edelyn likes to keep the things that she takes near her. She had a different place she lived before, I would guess. I don't think they were living in the same castle anyway. So maybe some lost things are there, but she does like to, as with a lot of hags and what have you, she likes to keep her things near her that she treasures. So stay out of there.
Or don't.
Well, you
have
sound like you
to
need
things.
stuff, but I wouldn't go there. I would not.
Keep it in mind. Yeah.
Is there a map that anyone in town could give us?
Oh, yeah.
Just like a general map.
I can get you a map. I can get you a map, and he instantly goes back to like sort of rubbing his little rabbit feet together, just like, oh, yeah, I'll get.
And you'll get it for us for free, considering that we're still working on preparations for the terrible experience he gave us when we first got here.
Okay, well, we'll see about how. Roll a persuasion.
Can I give advantage by saying yes as an apology?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll take the advantage. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is gonna be a dirty 20.
What do I said? Rolling die here. What's this? Oh, nope. Yep, natural 2 on that die.
No.
So he's just kind of like shifts his body weight back and forth on his large feet and goes, I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. And he kind of turns and goes off, clearly like doing a little like roll call in his head of who he knows who owes him a favor, so he doesn't have to pay anybody anything. But you now have Trundle on the case, and perhaps Trundle will come back with a map.
Perhaps.
Hey, thank you, Trundle.
I think I had a bed like that once.
That.
Daz, do you need any assistance for your performance?
I mean, I would not turn it down.
We'll look over to Elle and say, I can handle the lights if you do the smoke.
Sure. However, we'll look at Cobalt. Maybe we could put on a better show?
What, me?
No, not you, the pipe.
Oh, yeah. That makes more sense. Yeah. Did either
It's
of
not
you
gonna-
want it or
Hurt anyone, is it?
no? It makes. I mean, the images that it makes are pretty small. It's only like about like a foot by foot, but but still,
Wonderful.
I'll offer it to them if either of them want to use it.
Elio will take it.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Add a pipe of smoke monsters to your inventory.
Amazing. Can he test it out and try to make like a little bunny out of the smoke?
Yeah, you go ahead, and there's still some of the tobacco from the carnival in there. So you light it, and it sort of catches, and as you puff out, the little bunny just kind of runs off and then dissipates. How cool!
Wonderful. Try not to make anything too scary so I don't scare the villagers.
I'm very excited to see your show, Des. Have you always wanted to be a performer?
Say that I don't know that I was born into it, but I was most definitely raised into it.
Were your parents performers?
Oh, I have no fucking clue.
Oh. So did you like always want to play the guitar?
No, just the room I grew up in had some odds and ends in it, and I just had a natural aptitude for it.
Natural aptitude.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're an incredible performer. I can't wait to see this show.
It'll be fantastic, I promise.
And sort of a moment after that, when you kind of have a lull in the conversation, the little barmaid walks up, starts clearing things, and just says, I couldn't help overhearing you talking about lost things.
Yeah.
Well, Trundle's fine. He's not the most reliable. He's right about the castle. and how hags like to collect things, but you might want to talk to the lost ones that live in the tree.
Lost ones?
Yeah, they're like,
Alright.
well, I've never seen them, obviously, so you might want to double check with a ranger or something. But they are people who went missing from, I assume, your world or one of the other planes and escaped from the Hague. And they all live, well, they mostly live together. Some people go home, but they can't get there.
And then living in the tree, like pointing because we saw the gigantic tree, like pointing in just like, I'll just like kind of point in that general direction. Like
Generally,
the big one?
yeah, the giant one, the one that has fallen over.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's, I think there's quite a lot of people, creatures living in there.
Perhaps.
Thanks.
Well, but I mean, also, like I said, probably talk to a ranger, and also you might get a more accurate map from a ranger. Or just double check trundles with one of them.
Well,
Thank you
see
for coming in.
Of course. Thank you for
She's like
everything.
very nervous and just like whiskers just like twitching like really, really wildly as she's like sweating. I guess if a rabbit could sweat, this is like a sweaty rabbit telling you something.
Aw.
It's kind of like bows and walks away with like the stack of plates.
It's... Well,
That might be a good place to start then, yeah.
yeah,
before
is that
rest
close
proper.
to here? Trying to remember where it was.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
We'll figure it out, Ori. It'll be okay. We'll let someone else do the navigating.
Please.
And then you hear the doors slam open behind you. Turning, it is, of course, Agden Longscarf. Just throwing the doors open so that they slam as he remakes his entrance. Guests, my fellows, my friends, travelers, heroes, whatever, something. The stage is ready for you. And he sort of bows to to you, Daz, and just motions, like, hopefully, I mean, if that was enough time, you all ate, you had a little rest, you good? Oh, the townsfolk are very excited, very excited. Anything I can get you before the show? And now he's, like, kind of, like, coming over to Daz in a very, like, assistant-like manner, and the woman rabbit who's, like, behind him is just, like, writing something down and, like, still about that far from him, just following.
If I look over her shoulder, can I see what this other rabbit is writing? Just kind of.
It is pretty much minutes of this
Amazing.
guy's day, but all day.
Just constant. Okay, fantastic.
This poor lady.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Anyways.
I need some room temperature water.
We could get you some room temperature water. And he kind of turns to her and goes, go get the room temperature water. And so she scurries off. He's like, but right this way to the green room. We have, of course, not front row seats because there'd be a little problem, but like off to the side. You got good seats, but
Everyone else needs to be able to see. Yeah, we'd be blocking all their view. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate the understanding. Very gracious gift. We got your rooms all set up. They're lovely, lovely. Do you want to drop anything off before the performance? Do you need any?
I wouldn't mind dropping my bag off. I don't want to carry it. I can take all of our bags up to the rooms while you guys go get set up.
It's just like right next door, really.
Over the shoulder. Is it a good idea to let Ori go alone?
I'm coming. I am already actively like packing up my stuff, gathering things up. Like, all right, yeah, I'm coming.
So he leads you outside and kind of like snaps at a guard, and this guard does not seem like this is a job he takes seriously. You gather they are pretty safe being underground. He was like leaning against the wall out there, just kind of like looking at his hands. But he like snaps up when he gets sort of like yelled at by Agdon, and he goes, take them to their rooms, show them, give them. It's like, shit, there's no keys. Well, your stuff will be fine. You just gotta watch out for Trundle.
We've already had a chat with him again, so.
All right. Well, that's probably taken care of them.
He won't be causing us any more trouble, so.
No. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Anyway,
We'll see.
and then just back to Daz. Well, to the green room, and he just kind of like leads you to the building on the other side that was in front of that little like platform. And the platform has like a curtain behind it now, a curtain in front. Like they have clearly gotten something together in the last like hour and a half while they left you in that restaurant. And everyone else can join Daz in the green room if they'd like, or take your seats. But yeah, it's just a few minutes till showtime.
Smoke monster.
Daz, I go over with you, like what colors, lights you would like and when, via the prestidigitation spell. I'm just whatever lights you want on what musical cues. Veritas has done this for you before, but he doesn't work lights very often.
Hell yeah. Yeah, like, yeah. Okay, so here's what I was thinking, and you can pass this along to Elio. So I've been workshopping this one song that's it's about a tiger. So if like we could get the like smoked tigers, like, because I think it'd be really cool, because like it could match with the lyrics, because like it starts out and it's like just a heavy, it's like a guitar and it's like dun 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 dun.
Right.
You know, that kind of a thing. And so it's like it just starts up with a rising up. And so it's like it's coming from the smoke. And just a little tiger.
Gotcha.
Really.
Should
epic.
these tigers have any prominent features or just a normal
Well,
tiger?
it's the eyes. Like focus on the eyes. Because
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Seems like a very esoteric song.
it does, but you know, sometimes I like to play around with going back and forth between the stuff that's like serious and heavy, but then the other stuff that's
Sure,
just kind of fun and showy and flashy. And I feel like this one's flashy. It's the kind of song that if there was going to be like a fight, you'd want to fight to it.
Interesting. Battle music. Very well. I will tell Elio to prepare tigers.
Yeah.
And
Eye of the tiger. Yeah.
Oh, I understand. It's a metaphor.
Yeah.
Understood. That makes more sense. And I'll go relay that. I like to think that Elio is like just off screen. It's like, yeah, go tell Elio now. Just like turn to the right a little bit. So like Daz says he wants you to make, or they want you to make tigers with prominent eyes. It is a metaphor.
Eye tigers.
Yes.
Got it.
And as you contemplate how to make eye tigers, we have our other friends dropping off some luggage.
Just gonna look around the room. Seems pretty safe.
Yeah, check out the space.
Yeah, it is an open room. You guess this is kind of like a secondary meeting hall. Like most of the things around the square seem to be like have a community sort of purpose to them. So this is just the biggest building they could find and clear out quickly. And they have brought beds in from somewhere, and they are end to end. And most of them are 3 end to end. There's like 2 that are 4 end to end. Like they're just kind of like guessing at height, and like it probably works. But they have set this up for you. The room is like pretty sparse and empty. Besides that, there's the side door to a loo situation. But
I think this will do quite nicely. Gonna like start
Checking
putting
my
her
spell
stuff
book
down.
pretty quick. Hold on. I think I know that spell. Do I know that spell? I do know that spell. Cool. While Ori is setting down our stuff, getting everything all set, Cobalt is going to go ahead and cast Alarm as a ritual around just the perimeter of the room, on the windows, doors. Make sure that, so I know if anybody except for the party goes in there.
All right. You have alarmed this building. You are beginning to hear the crowd gathering outside as you finish that up. And the guard who escorted you is just waiting and leaning outside the door. Clearly. Crack security team. But he will lead you to your seats when you come out. Big NPC is not saying any words to you. Energy just kind of like points at the chairs and just...
Right here? Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
Turns and like goes back to lean against some other random building, and then he like realizes that he's been leaning, and you guys like look at him, and he just goes around the corner and does like... Bye. Yeah, so we got the chairs out, we got the crowd sort of gathering. It's just like they're like shooting Ori, and Cobalt like looks, and you see like little kids like coming up and just being like, and then like running away.
Prestidigitation, make like little shapes and sparks and that kind of shit to entertain them.
Within like 15 seconds, the kids who were like running away scared are now like doing the like little kid creep out thing where they get a little closer and a little closer, and one of them tries to like grab the thing out of the air. And it's starting to get like dark down here. You gather there's like some form of magic light situation that they're dimming, and the crowd gets like very loud and giggly for a second and then gets very hushed as a show begins. Egdon comes out on stage, lifts his arms high. People of the Warren, once again we are here in this election year. Remember who brought back tourism? And also how bitchin' this show was. Thank you. And he just sort of bows, and the crowd is like too excited about this very mediocre speech. And you begin to get some of the lights that are being put on by Veritas as Daz takes the stage in some form or fashion. Describe the flavor, the style, the flair of this show.
Okay, so it's it's nowhere near as flashy as how they were on the main stage event, but it has you're surprised as they begin like playing, because they're only playing one instrument. It is the guitar that they're like that has the electricity going through it, but you do hear some simple accompaniment that you're kind of going like, how is that happening a little bit, and of course opens it up with the big powerful Eye of the Tiger number, but then kind of like in super dramatic fashion, they take off their guitar and like just put it to the side and walk out, grab some of the utensils, and using some of the same magic that's used to amplify the guitar, just a little cantrip stuff, starts doing a drum beat that almost replicates the sound of a band or like a drumline drum kind of thing to it, and then performs White Rabbit because of the establishment.
Yes.
And then would probably end it with like an acoustic number that's just the guitar, no Yeah.
I must stress that the tigers are cyclones.
Yes! Yes!
Amazing.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And the crowd is loving it. You kind of see the crowd like shift a little bit where maybe some of like the more teenage looking rabbits are like coming forth for these power bouts. Like, oh, this is cool. I love this surface music. And like some of the older rabbits are like backing up a little bit like, what is this, rock and roll? No, thank you. But everyone is still like, everyone stays. Everyone is just like cheering and yelling and trying to do an encore as you sort of like back off stage. And you just get this head and long scarf once again running up next to you and grabs your hand as and just like starts shaking it. You're like, great job, great job, great job. No, one more song though? For the
Car!
Okay. Yeah, we'll come back out and do one more song. It's I'm like, no.
Just going through the
Yeah.
Yeah.
musical ADD.
No.
Just no.
closing time.
Yeah. Yeah. This one goes out to a lass who somewhere is a little lost, probably was adrift at sea, and then begins to play Annie, Are You Okay?
Oh my god.
Amazing.
Love it.
Terrible.
The answer is no. The answer is
Never.
Okay.
She's not okay.
So you once again back off the stage. Once again, Agden's there. He's like, "Oh, you are truly blown me away. He's just kind of once again straightening his scarf and looking very like proud of himself, like he had anything to do with anything today. And he's like, I can have. What would you all like to do? Do you need anything more? We have complimentary chocolate chip cookies.
I mean, I'm not gonna say no to that.
They're like the healthy kind where it's like they have definitely still carrot in them somehow. But yeah, they give you something like a chocolate chip cookie, and it's kind of like the warm ones in like the little bags that one weird hotel gives you. And you gather that this is like a night ritual that is just like everyone will be happy if we just give them a cookie at the end of the day, and this is how we keep the population together. Like,
This is how we get votes.
right? It's just music and cookies. Like, okay, not the worst platform. But yeah,
Very
so,
like student class president election.
A vote for Daz is a vote for better bathrooms.
oh my god. Which, as you are given your cookies and go into your rooms, you wish you would have voted for Daz. Because it's a tight bathroom situation with 6 of you in one room, and there's like the shower, and it's just like drips of water.
I'll just
I just need to
prestidigitation myself clean.
But yes, it is now, night is falling in the Warren, and you kind of still hear people out trickling away to their homes, but a few of the younger people are still being a little rowdy in the streets as kids do. But yes, you are in your room. The alarm was not tripped. You do hear a knock at the door a little bit after you enter.
Hello.
Yeah.
Comes to the door. Yes.
And it's just mostly what you see from your height is a tray on top of a head. And it is, and you just hear from underneath, I just figured I'd bring you some room temperature water, some more carrot juice, some of the kombucha stuff, and here's another of the ales.
Thank you.
Ooh,
And
Take the tray.
we got
large
refreshment.
hand. Just
And have a wonderful night, and the little barmaid just sort of curtsies to you once again.
Thank you so much.
Wait,
this was so considerable.
what's your name?
Oh,
You beat me to it.
I'm Leaf.
Leaf.
Thanks, Leaf. Thanks so
Thank you
much.
for everything.
And just, I mean, my brother, the barkeep, since you got to tell you my name, he was like, tell them my name is Mushroom. He's very shy.
Please thank Mushroom for us too.
Do you do coin here? Can I tip you some coin?
She just like puts up both little feet hands. The tray is like now just under her arm.
I'm gonna give her 2 gold. Here you go.
And it's just the most like eager look on her face, and just kind of like tucks it away and goes, thank you. And kind of rushes off, just like very, very quickly back to the bar next door. And like, they don't really need money, is what you're guessing, but they might just like shiny things. Who knows?
Very fair and valid.
So now you have beverages and a cozy room to bed down in for the night. It's still bruised and bloodied over you.
I'm trying not to think about it. That's what the juice is for.
All right. Unless there's anything anyone wants to do before bed.
No.
Yep. Go ahead. You go first.
I was just gonna give this back to Cobalt.
Oh, you can hold on to it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't owe you anything for it.
No.
Okay.
No, you don't. I promise.
All right.
I didn't get it from you earlier. Have you always wanted to be like a dagger thrower, like you do?
No.
What brought you to the carnival then?
Happenstance.
Oh. Do you three like working there? Or liked? Liked, I suppose, is the better word. Sorry if we got you in trouble.
Yeah.
It's fine. It was about time I left anyway.
Well, the time that I was there, it was better than alternatives. So
That's a ringing endorsement right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was quite wonderful when I did work there, but I don't anymore, so...
Well then, when we get back, what are you gonna do?
Wander some more?
And keep in touch. Veritas
Yes.
looks very pointed at you.
It says we're going back.
Well, we have to bring Star back, right?
Right.
Were you hoping to stay here? Prismir?
I mean, I guess you could.
Oh, maybe. I haven't decided yet.
That's fair.
And with that, as you all are laid in bed, now thinking about whether you're going to stay in Prismir, you just hear like a clock chime somewhere, some ways off. A rabbit clock. And you all drift off to sleep. And that is where we will take our break.
I get a long rest.
Not yet. No, yeah.
Okay.
And this is also, y'all also like level up, right? Did we do that?
Yeah!
Right? Because we're till level 4 now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
Hell
cool.
yeah.
I was like, I can't remember if we've actually had a long rest. No.
No, this is
well
our
done.
first long rest.
Welcome to level 4. Yeah. If you are joining us on Twitch, we will be right back in just a few minutes. If you are watching us on Twitter, we will be back in a few days. For the Twitter that I always forget about to post on. Anyway, Twitter, YouTube, whatever it is, I don't know. Just find us someplace and watch us, please, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Perfect outro.
So good.